Hello, hello, hello. Hey, hey, hey. Come on in and get comfortable. Welcome back to my channel, Jaleesa, Reading Beyond the Book Cover, where we stay reading beyond the book's cover. My name is Jaleesa. Welcome if it's your first time, and welcome back if you are returning. I'm so happy to have you here. I thought to myself, it's better late than never to share with you all what I read in the month of August 2023. I know not everybody has Goodreads, not everybody has a library thing account or a Storygraph account. So this is my opportunity to share that with you all that do not have those accounts, just for you. So hold on. I'm going to go and get my pictures that I need, and I'm going to tell you about how I feel about each book. Hopefully I can do all of this in less than 10 minutes because I read 12 books in the month of August. So get ready. All right, first I want to share the books that I had written a review for on my blog. That is readingbeyondthebookcover.com. I read How to Be a Better Adult by Jacque. There's a review there if you want all the details. And I also have a review for Mary Monroe's Love, Honor, and Betray. That one went live 2 days ago. So if you would, just go over there to readingbeyondthebookcover.com, peruse through, and leave me a comment or two. But I gave those books ratings. I gave 2.5 to each of them. But you will see in my review all the things that I liked, disliked, enjoyed, didn't enjoy, and who I would recommend it to. So go over there. It's a hop, skip away. Okay? Readingbeyondthebookcover.com. Now, after this, I'm going to show you the graphic novel series that I read for the month of August 2023. Graphic novels. So I don't know. I'm trying to remember who told me or who I saw reading this or mentioned it. I want to say it's Brie at Lock Petition. She read Harrow County, I think, with Bookish Realm. Don't quote me on it. I could be lying. But anyhow, that's how I heard about Harrow County. I read 2 of the volumes in the, I think, 11 volume series. My library only has 6 available, so that's what I will be reading. But right for now, I've only read 1 and 2. I started 3, didn't finish it, but before it went back to the library, but I will be reading it now in the month of September, and most likely read number 4 in October, then November 5, and then December 6. So I'll be done with them before the end of the year. Fingers crossed, that's the plan. But I enjoy both of these. The artwork is really interesting. When you do read to the back, when they give you more details about how the book series was drawn, or the stories that they had drafted up and what they took and used and didn't use, they do mention how most of these drawings are done with watercolor. So I am surprised. They did a very good job utilizing watercolor. I never thought that it was possible to make these drawings look the way they do. It's hard to explain. So you get your hands on it, you'll see what I mean. If you take a closer look, you can see it's watercolor, but from afar, you really can't tell. And the story so far is giving me like Sabrina the Teenage Witch kind of vibes, and I really enjoy that so far. I'm hoping that the further in the series, we get to know more about the original witch that started all in book 1. Because right now it's like I'm trying to piece things together, and I'm still not understanding really how everything is the way that it is. It sounds like everybody was created from this one witch, but some of the creations that she created had turned on her. So I could be wrong. Let me know. If you read this, how did you feel about it? But I'm liking it. I'm going to continue it next month. And then we have the Heartstoppers series. I read 1 through 3. I just went ahead and rated them all together, getting an average basically of 4 stars. And I really enjoy this series. Not only because it's heartfelt, it's heartwarming, and I feel seen because I am Ace, but I appreciate how much of the storyline is actually kept intact when in comparison to the book. So what I mean by that is, you watch a TV show first, then you won't know whether or not it's in line with the graphic novel series, and so far it is. And if it isn't, it's usually because it's filling in a gap somewhere, and where they're filling in the gaps, they're doing a really good job. It's very effective. They're building on what's existing and adding their own twist on it at Netflix. So I suggest that you pick up this series, read the graphic novel series. It's free on Webtoons if you're willing to wait until the rest of the series is complete, because it comes out, I think, every week. or every few weeks they have a new set of comics, but it's free on there if you want to have access to it. And then, go check out the series on Netflix. Chef's Kiss, beautiful. Oh, before I leave, I had to say, I stand Nick and Charlie. I think I'm doing a pretty good job trying to stay on task. So this section is going to be the audiobooks that I read in the month of August 2023. I believe I read 3 or 4. I lost count, but we're going to see, right? So I gave 2.5 stars to Wendy Walker's What Remains. The book this is my first police procedural that I've actually read. I call it police procedural, maybe call something else, but it involves police and detectives and whatnot trying to figure out what's going on with, well, not what's going on, but something happened at a mall or a store. A man came in shooting, and the police thinks that they killed the shooter, but they're not really sure. That's where I was a little bit confused. I'm still kind of confused about that. So when you read it, it's kind of like, I'm still confused. What's happening? And I think that the book we could have most likely got more insight as to why people were moving the way they were in this game of almost like cat and mouse going on, if we had another perspective. That's the thing. We had 2 perspectives, and they were there, they were present, they were necessary, but we also need that third one. That third one, I think, would have made this book so much better. So it's not going to be my last book from Wendy Walker. I will pick up another book from them, and I'm hoping that it'll be more perspectives there so that I don't feel like I'm missing something and trying to piece the puzzle together afterwards still, because I still don't know if I should or should not believe who we think the killer was actually the killer. I still don't know. Questions that need answers. If you read this, let me know, because I don't feel like rereading it. I don't have the patience right now for rereading, but I would like to know, what am I slow? Because I still don't know if who was who and what is happening. But it got a 2.5, so yeah, there's that. Lucy Foley, The Paris Apartment. Now, I gave this one 3.75 stars. I would have given it 4. I cannot recall. It most likely because of the length. But this audiobook, it was good. There were different characters, like a full cast, if I remember correctly. What I enjoyed most about this book and why I rated it highly, and this is highly for me in the sense that it is higher than a 2. That's high for me. Well, not high, but normal, regular to high, going all over the place, is because of the atmosphere. This book's atmospheric. I can see, taste, smell. Everything felt drab, almost kind of depressing, but it's fine. It didn't put me in a bad headspace, but it was just crazy. The way that the author was able to write in a way that was effective and made me feel like I was with the character step by step looking for her brother. It was stressing me out. I feel like if I were her, I don't think I would have stayed as long as I did. But yeah, it's a good book. I think that if you're in the mood for a mystery, pick this up. It's good. I did not know who we were supposed to be looking at the entire time, so when everything unfolded, my mouth was agape. So it's good. I will pick up another book from Lucy Foley. Not in the near future, not soon this year, but most likely next year. If I'm in the mood for a mystery, I'll pick up something by her. Bentley Little's The Consultant. I gave it 2 stars because it was an interesting take on actual consultants. I've been through the process of having consultants at a workplace before. The only thing that I didn't really enjoy about this book is just the feel of an adult man-child kind of jokes and stuff, and that's what she said. It just... It was just, maybe it was out of my comfort zone. That's why I didn't really care for it too much, but I don't know. It didn't make me laugh. Not a bit. And it didn't make me scared either. It was just uncomfortable to read at times. So yeah, no, I'm good. I may try another book by them, but not anytime soon. Okay, so I lied to myself. I cannot make this into just 10 minutes, and maybe a little bit over 10 minutes, but not more than 15 minutes. I just wanted to share the last audiobook, and then after that, my last book that I read but haven't reviewed yet. So that means just 2 more books. So hang in there. and then I'm gonna send you off like I usually do. So this book here is by Terry McMillan. I picked it up because I was trying to make sure that I wasn't being impatient when it came to September's book pick for the Buddy Reads group that I have on Facebook. So I picked up this one instead because we're reading It's Not All Downhill From Here by the same author. So I was like, let me pick up something else so I don't spoil myself by reading, and my group members as well, by reading ahead of time. So anyhow, you don't need to know all that. I read this and it was okay. So it's 3 stars. It's one of those books where I think in particular when it comes to Terry McMillan, she takes care and she takes time to express to people that, when you get older in age, of course you don't think the same as you did before, right? But it's good to take time to reflect on things that have happened in the past in your life, and to also take the time to express that to the people in your life that are still alive. So if I remember correctly, what sparks this idea of hers to, change professions or pivot and change the way she's moving in her life so far, as well as to also go and talk to people that she hasn't spoken to in years. So in specifics, like people that are either romantic relationships or even just one night stands or just, cut buddies or friends with benefits. She is an optometrist, and one of her patients, I think it's a new patient, she says that her last name is like, I don't know, something that's really obscure last name in a way, or something that you wouldn't think that somebody has. So like the last name is Strawberry, okay, or Chocolate. She's like, oh, I knew somebody named, Charlie Chocolate. And then the girl's like, oh, that's my daddy. She's like, oh, okay, how's he doing? She's like, oh, he passed. So hearing like the passing of somebody that she used to be involved with spurs on this want or this need to go and tell the people that she's used to be with, hey, I know we're not together now, but I thank you for the time that you were with me. This is what I learned from my experience, blah, 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 blah. So it's a good book, definitely reflective. I feel like it's one of those books that I can reread in my older age. So when I do get older, and if I do happen to be in a different point in time in my life where I can relate more to the character or the main character in this book, I think that I will enjoy it even more. But for now, it's at a 3 stars. So there's that on that. And then we're going to go on ahead to our last book, which is, hold on, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kalynn Bayron. I read this for the Horror Host Support Group book club. I gave it 3 stars. And what's funny is that the book at first was going to be a 4 to 4.5 stars. I know what happened, but it's sad that it happened this way, that it took me some time to be separated from the book for me to realize that it didn't have as much of a hold on me as I thought it did. You feel me? So at first it was going to be a 4 and a 4.5 stars, something like that, but I have it at 3 stars because the further I've been away from this book, or the further I've been detached from it, the more I have no feelings for the characters. I remember some of their names, but not really many of them, so that's an issue, and that is why my rating went down. That doesn't deter me from trying another book from Kalynn Bayron, but this did make me a little bit sad that I couldn't give this a 4 to 4.5 star. I thought it would be one of those books that would be up there with my favorites of the year, right? But what I liked about the book is that there were a lot of red herrings. I did not guess who was responsible for all the chaos at this camp. It was interesting. It was interesting. What I will say is that you have to be patient. The first part of the book is slow paced, but that's because they need to build on not necessarily the characters, but like the setting, and then try to give you some history as to how the camp became the way it is, and a little bit of history about the characters. But it's not, the character wise, it's not enough information for me to feel attached to them. But the first 50%, yes, it's slow paced, but I think you can get through it as long as you remember that the rest of the book is a little bit faster paced. So just hang in there. Just hang in there. That's all I have to say about that on that. Oh, also, what I really enjoyed about the first 50%, even though it was slow paced, each chapter it had an ending that was suspenseful or thrilling or just kind of like tense. So that's what I really enjoyed about each of those chapters. Something about like the last 50% though, if it seemed like it lost that kind of spark, and I'm not really sure what happened. Like, where was the headspace? Did something get lost in between? Because I didn't feel like we got those kind of endings anymore after the action started taking place in the book. So Yeah, that's my small thoughts on this book, because I really do intend on doing a written review and a full verbal review, but I'm still trying to get my thoughts together, if you can't tell. So 3 stars for that. And for our overall rating, hold on. And the average rating is 3.5 out of 5. Not bad at all. I think that I had a really good reading month. Considering that I read 12 books, that's a really good average rating. I couldn't ask for more. I mean, I could, but I just want to be okay. I don't want to have a bad reading month where I feel like I was on the verge of DNFing. That would suck. So I had a good reading month. I hope for the best. Fingers crossed that in September 2023, which is currently going on right now, that I have a good reading month. Average rating wise, I can care less about the number of books. I just want to enjoy myself overall. And I did just that. So if you have any comments as far as like any of the books that I read, if you read them as well, let me know how you felt. And if you haven't read them, do you have them on your TBR? And how soon do you think you'll get to them? I would like to know. Comments down below. You talk, I talk back. I always say that. I'm just waiting for more people to talk. But until next time, I want you to drink your water, mind the business as yours, and continue reading beyond the book's cover. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.